So when it comes to meditation, many people struggle with having a relaxed but focused attention. Instead, their attention is flighty. It's much like a wild bird that's flitting all over the place, and it's never staying in one place for any extended period of time. Now, there's a couple different ways we can do with this. One we talked about last week, the concentration meditation. But there's another technique we can utilize to help us naturally access that relaxed, focused attention. And that's the subject for this week's Weekly Wisdom Bite. So Weekly Wisdom Bites are bite-sized meditation pointers that are specifically designed to up-level your meditation practice so that you regularly experience profound and powerful meditations. So hi everybody, it's Jeff here with this week's Weekly Wisdom Bite. So many people actually struggle with this ability to have a relaxed and focused attention. And this is particularly evident in the practice of meditation. In fact, we often don't notice it outside of the practice of meditation because our mind is occupied on activities. But what happens is when we're in the meditation, the default mode network of the self begins to activate. What's the default mode network? This is the part of the self that tends to be self-conscious. It's the part of the self that is always evaluating, comparing, contrasting, judging our experience, and of course judging ourselves. So the way that we typically deal with this, or most meditations deal with this, is by placing our attention on an object. This stabilizes the mind. I talked about that last week, as I said. Right? But and you might think of that type of meditation as a doing meditation. You're actively doing something to allow you to experience relaxed and focused attention. But then there's another category of meditation called a being meditation. And being meditations, we're just naturally accessing the relaxed, focused, effortless quality of presence that's already here. We're not utilizing any object of focus. Now, it can be challenging for us to get to that place where we are deeply resting. So one of the things we can do is we can utilize doing practices mixed in with being practices. So we alternate between the two different types of practices. This sort of acts like what's called a progressive muscle relaxation technique. Now, in a progressive muscle relaxation technique, what we do is we focus our attention on a muscle and then we actively contract the muscle. So we contract it and we feel what the muscle feels like when it's contracted and tight. And then we relax the muscle and we feel what it feels like when it's relaxed and not contracted. This helps us to develop a very clear sense, right? A feeling sense, a felt sense of the difference between these two states of the muscle, right? Contracted versus not contracted. Similarly, when we work with these doing meditations and being practices in this manner, we do much the same. So if you struggle with paying attention and you don't necessarily want to utilize concentration practices, try this simple technique and see how it works out for you. Alternate between doing and being practices throughout your meditation. And see if you're not able to develop a clear sense of when you're utilizing a doing practice and when you're utilizing a being practice. So try that this week and see what happens. Let me know in the comments below what you find. Also, if you have any comments about what I shared today, share that in the comments below, as well as any suggestions. So that's this week's Weekly Wisdom Bite. It's Jeff, over and out.